Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. I wanted to talk to you guys today about tech time and video creation tools that you can use in order to create videos for your business. So I wanted to start off by just sharing with you that by leveraging, I don't know if you know this, but that by leveraging simple and user-friendly video creation tools, even if you are new, can help you produce high quality videos with confidence by creating content that your ideal audience wants to learn about and to know about from you. But you can usually do this simply and easily if you use certain types of tools that are available for you out there. And that's what I want to talk to you about in today's live stream. So it's going to be a little jam-packed. I'm going to be sharing my screen. I'm going to just give you a brief overview. It's not going to be an in-depth tutorial, but if you want to know more, please definitely post in the comments below and let me know if there is a particular tool that you want to learn a little bit more on. And in some instances, I may have a much more detailed video on my YouTube channel. And in some instances, I may not have gotten to that yet, but I can certainly do that for you. So let's get started. So today, our conversation is really going to surround the 4 various stages of creating content for your business. So the first is pre-production or scripting. So that's basically knowing what you want to say in your video. The second is production or recording or filming. And so that's sort of what I'm doing now. I'm just doing it in the form of a live stream, but you can certainly do it in the form of a pre-recorded video. The third is post-production or editing phase. And then the last is promoting, or maybe you're marketing your content and pushing it out so that others can see it. And in an instance like today's video, you're also doing the repurposing of that content and sending it out for marketing purposes. So let's start first and foremost with script writing. Now, I know that a lot of people tend to think about script writing as, oh my gosh, that's just too involved. I don't have time for that. But the purpose of it is to really have a general idea of what it is that you want to talk about in your videos. And I've said this before in previous videos, where you can either choose to actually write out a script word for word and know what you're going to say. So as I'm speaking to you, I could be reading a script, or you can at least have an outline, which is what I have. I actually have an outline written in paper form, as well as I have it on my screen, so that I can stay on topic of what I want to talk to you about, and I don't sway or stray off topic, and I can try to keep what I'm saying succinctly on each stage of what I am going to be talking about. So either one of those two is the best option, either writing out a script word for word or using some sort of an outline. And your outline could be as detailed as it needs to be. Like my outline has an overview of all of the different things that I want to talk about. And then it has some notes in there, like I may want to share some information like the power of words. This is a quote that I wanted to share with you. Knowing what to say and when to say it in your videos will help you convey your message, evoke emotion, inspire action, and inform your viewer about yourself as well as your brand. So things like that, I'm going to keep a little bit of a note of so that I can remember to share that with you. So now I'm ready to go into the tool that we're going to talk about. There are a lot of tools that you can use in order to create the words of what you want to say, whether it's an outline or a script. If you are prolific at writing, this does not apply to you. If you are really good at being able to sort of keep mentally in your head all of the things that you need to talk about and the order in which you need to speak on them, and you can keep the interest of your audience the entire time, this is not an option for you. However, if you're like me and you need to make sure that you stay on topic, you want to make sure that you're formatting your content in a way that will keep your audience engaged, then I highly recommend that you write out a script or an outline and you use tools that can help you craft that content a lot easier. The two tools that actually, I shouldn't even say that they're two tools. The primary tool that I like to use is one called Jasper.ai. But recently I've been playing around with Copilot by Microsoft, and I'm really enjoying that. So I'm going to share my screen. Again, these are going to be very simple, quick overviews of, actually in this instance, I'm going to show you both of those using the same prompt or information and show you what it can produce. So it's, again, all of these AI tools, and I've said this every time that I talk about an AI tool, is for the purpose of guidance. It is to jumpstart you. It is to give you something to work with and not to take it as it is produced and just plop it down and use it as is. You want to make sure that you're tweaking this so that it sounds a little bit more like you. And this goes across the board regardless of what AI tool you're using. So let me share my screen. Okay, I have that open and you should be able to see my screen right now. And so for this particular example, I'm starting off with Copilot. Copilot is by Microsoft, and it's been around for a couple of years. It was called Bard, if I remember correctly. Was that the one that was Bard? I think that was the one that was Bard. I can't remember. I think that was Bard. I can't remember what it originally was called, but at any rate, Copilot is fairly new for me to use. And I've been using it not so much for scripts, but I've been using it for emails, for SOPs, for a lot of business oriented type things that I've been doing. Not so much for the creative stuff, although you can use it for that. And I've seen someone on YouTube use it magnificently to create like social media posts and things of that nature. So you can use it literally to create any kind of content that you need to write. So what I'm going to do in this example is I already have in here, you can see it. I already have in here a prompt. Now, the way that Copilot works, Copilot is very similar to ChatGPT, in my opinion, because you can have a conversation, you can have a chat with the interface so that it can produce the best outcome or output for you. So in this example, I'm basically starting a new topic and I'm saying, create an engaging script for a video that provides tips and tricks for selling your home during the winter. So I just decided to do that. And so I'm going to click on submit and my chat's going to start. And so it's going to work, sort of figure out what it needs to do first. And then it's going to start to create. And I will share with you, right before I went live today, my computer was going a little slow. So I'm hoping that nothing major will happen. But this is just an example of what the video script looks like. So let's start at the top. So it's telling you what kind of music you can have at the very beginning if you want to use music, what you can share on the screen, selling your home in winter, no problem. Then the narrator can come in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, we provide tailored solutions and personalized strategies to help you navigate the world of real estate. Today, we're going to share some tips and tricks for selling your house during winter. And then it goes on to the different tips. Keep it cozy. Let there be light. Show off winter features. Clear the path. And then it's also telling you from a visual standpoint, whether or not you can, the text that you can have on there. I've even seen them sometimes where it will give you visual cues of things that you can feature in your script. So this is an example. you would go through this and you would tweak it if this was an option that you wanted to use, and just say, okay, yeah, there's some elements of that I like. I would reword this and just make it sound more like your own. But at least it gave you some ideas, and maybe this might actually spawn some different ideas. So you can have a conversation with Copilot and you could ask, are there any more tips or something like that? Do you have any more tips to add to this script? So I don't want to go through this too much. And see here, they also then prompt you for asking Copilot even additional things, like what about staging tips for winter? But I'm just going, you can plug in whatever kind of question that you want, and you can plug that in, and then it will produce that. Again, I'm not going to do this too much because I don't want this to take up too much more time, because it is a little, normally Copilot when I'm not on a live stream goes a little bit faster than this. So use high quality photos, emphasize indoor amenities, offer flexible viewing times. So there are more tips that you can add if you wanted to do, say, a series of these. You could do, the first video would have 5, the next video would have possibly 10. Nope, they're only giving you 8. So the next video would have 3 more, and then so on and so forth. So this is a great option. The cool thing about Copilot is that this version of it is free. If you want to pay for it, it does go up to, I think it's either $20 or $30, depending on whether you're going to use it with Microsoft 365 or not. But it's still, you can get a lot out of this for free. The next one that I like to use, and this is my personal favorite, it's Jasper.ai. I've been using it, excuse me, for a number of years. I'm thinking COVID time. So I want to think it's probably been about 4 years that I've been using Jasper. They have absolutely 100% revamped this platform since it first was released, and it makes it a lot easier. One of the advantages of using Jasper versus a chat or a Copilot, even though Copilot is in a weird way a little, I prefer it over ChatGPT and a lot of the other chat oriented AI copywriters need you to really prompt them properly. So it's all based on how are you prompting it? Are you giving it the right kinds of information? Jasper kind of shortcuts that, because Jasper has a lot of information that it asks about you, about how, your writing style, your talking your style, your presentation style. It asks to get a lot of information about you so that it can understand your voice. But more importantly, on the back end, it really does do a lot of the hard work for you. So you literally just have to punch in here, what do you want to create? I want to create an engaging script. You don't even have to go any further than that. But I've actually put in the same prompt or instruction that I gave Copilot. And then you click on here, create. Then takes you to another page. And from here, it's then going to ask you more questions. So it's going to say, what are the selling points for a house in the winter? So it's asking you, the expert, the real estate salesperson, to provide it with a little bit more information. The one thing that you need to make sure that you do before you start is you need to select your voice. So I've already pre-populated what my voice is. Now, I'm not a real estate agent, so this isn't going to be perfect, but I could say presentation mode just for the hell of it. And so if you need some ideas from this, you can come down here to this little prompt here, generate response. You don't have to use all of them, but it gives you an idea. Again, anything with AI writing is there to just give you a jump start on what you need to do in order for you to create your content. So cozy atmosphere, unique winter features. You can do all of these things. I'm just going to accept it because again, this isn't my thing. And then it asks you who's the target audience for this video. So local homeowners, winter buyers, and potential investors sounds about right. So then the next thing you can do is go here where it says add more information, and then you can choose one of these. So if you're done, you can say call to action. Otherwise, if you want it to have a more of a storytelling aspect to it, you can select that. Again, it's asking you to provide a compelling story or anecdote related to selling the house. So it can be related to incident that happened with you. Let's say this past winter, you were able to sell someone's house in the middle of a storm. You could, talk that out. You don't have to craft it perfectly. You can just basically state what the specifics were. If you can't think of anything, you can click here and click on generate response, and it says, imagine a local family who decided to put their charming winter ready home on the market just before the first snowfall, blah, blah, blah. You can do that. If you don't want to use it, you can just click here for the delete, the trash can, and choose not to use it at all, and then go straight to your call to action. And then again, it gives you some ideas. Book a winter wonderland home tour today. Unlock your dream home before the snow melts. And then you can just click on generate, and then it's going to generate your content over to the right. So here it's giving you visuals as well as it's giving you some more visuals. I'm thinking scene 1, cozy living room. Picture this. You walk into a home, a winter wonderland. Let me wait for this too. It's breaking it down into scenes. And okay. Picture this. Well, I guess this could be audio as well. Now pan over to the features. Yeah, this could be narration as well. But if you want, you could then come in here and ask it to continue. So you can ask it to either continue writing, provide winter selling strategy tips, discuss potential drawbacks of winter selling, offer anecdotes of successful winter sales. So there's a variety of things that you can still do, again, with Jasper without you having to really think too much about it. But that I wanted to get written down or down so that you could see the options. You could also, in Copilot and Jasper, ask for it to give you an outline as opposed to a script. So if you wanted, you could say, can you provide the above in script in an outline format? So if you wanted, instead of doing that, you could just have, there you go. So if you didn't need to have a word for word script, you could also have both of these platforms just create an outline for you. So once you have your script, the next thing that you need to do is record or film it. So one of the tools that I love to use for that is called BigView. BigView is a tool that you can upload your script to on your desktop and have access to it on your phone. So I have my phone in front of me as well. One of the additional features, they keep adding things to all of these tools, but one of the additional features that they have added is the ability for you to write a script as well. So I've actually, did I do this? No, I did not. So let me take this prompt and put this in here as well. And you can choose how long you want it to be, a short, medium, or long script, and the tone of it, whether you want it to be persuasive, friendly, neutral, and then you put in your topic here, and then you write new. Now, you do not need to, what am I missing? Not sure. Let's just put provide. Hopefully this is all that I needed. If it doesn't work, then, and it's not working. So it's not working for whatever reason. I'm not sure what the reasoning is. So we're going to just do this as a test. Then we're going to go back to Copilot, and we are going to copy this and put it into BigView. And here you can get rid of all of these things if you only want to have what the narrator is saying. You can have these, it's up to you what you want to delete. What this is going to do is give you those extra sort of directions will give you some pause in the script, and you'll be able to sort of like catch your breath. Once you are finished, you can click on, let's show you, the save button. This then automatically goes to your phone, where you will be able to then open it up on your phone. So to see what my phone is seeing, I'm going to go here where I am testing or filming from my phone. And so this is the video that I just created. So I'm going to click on it so that it can open up and you can see the script is here. Now, in order to record this, what I have to do on my phone is I have to click on the camera icon. So, hello. As you can see, the camera icon, you can see my light off right there. Sorry about that, but I can twist it this way so that you won't see it. And let me make sure that I'm straight. So, as you can see, the text is off to the left side of the screen. That also happens to be the camera eye on my phone. So when I'm ready, all I need to do is on here, I can resize, I can change the font, I can change the speed of the teleprompter going up. I can change the starting position if I wanted. I can, let me show you what that looks like. So you can see it's going to give me a little bit of grace before it starts, but that's not, that's neither here nor there. And so if I'm ready, if this is positioned exactly where I want it to be, now it's not on the greatest tripod because I didn't have a tripod that I could put on my desk. I have it on a clamp, so it's a little wobbly right now. So I'm going to click on the record button. When you do that, it gives you a countdown from 5. So I can now prepare myself. And then all I need to do is start to read. And so as long as I am reading, I'm not reading it right now, but I just wanted to share with you that exactly where the script is going up is exactly where you need to be looking so that you can be captured on camera. It makes it seem as if you are actually looking at the camera while you're also reading the script. So once you are finished doing that, and you can adjust your scroll speed, where's my cursor? You can adjust your scrolling speed here. If you want it to go slower, if you want it to go faster, you can do all of that while you are recording. Oh, that's too slow. But this is what it looks like. When you are finished, you just stop your recording and it then automatically saves onto your phone. From here, all you need to do is either keep it in the platform and you can edit it in the platform, or you can export it. So right now it's on my phone. So in order for me to send it to the computer so that I can get it, I can just upload to web app, which is this. And then when I go back, it's not going to be there yet, but when I go back, it's going to populate here. As you can see, I have other videos that I've created that are also there. Now, the importance of recording your videos and using video is huge because I'm always on the know, like, and trust factor. It certainly builds the know, like, and trust factor. But the biggest reason that you should be using video is because 95% of people that watch a video are able to retain the content that you're speaking of, versus if they just read it. Only 10% of what is written is retained by people that just read. So that is a number one reason for you to stop avoiding video and start using some of these really easy and simple tools that will allow you to create content simply and easily for your audience. If you don't want to go the route of pre-recorded videos, you can always do like what I'm doing, which I've already been sharing with my audience, has been a challenge for me, is live streaming. This way, you don't have to worry about the editing. You don't have to worry about all of the stresses that come along with pre-recorded videos, even though live streaming can come with its own stresses because there's technology issues and things of that nature. But if you get the ability to just go live and you have your outline like I have in front of me, then that allows you to create video content that you can then do what you need to later. You can edit it and then you can repurpose it for marketing purposes. Okay, so let's move on to the next stage, which is editing. So here I want to find out, let me see, let me refresh this real quick and see if it has, because it should have uploaded. So there you go. So there's the video. I just wanted to make sure that you could see that that was done. So for editing, I know a lot of people tend to get stumped here. So if you are someone that just absolutely hates editing, please comment below and let me know what your struggle is, because believe me, there's probably an app for that that can help you with editing. One of the tools that I want to talk about today, and there's so many really good ones that are out there, I didn't know which ones to feature, is Kapwing. Or Kapwing, some people will call it. So in this example, I actually just uploaded one of my live streams from back in March, and I probably should have done a different video, A, because it would have been shorter, and B, it would have had more gaps. But what I like about Kapwing is that it makes editing really, really simple, especially if all you need to do is get rid of gaps or times where you're not speaking. And one of the features that they have for that, because you can also do the easy trimming, is just like for live streams, especially if you're going to use this for a live stream, usually there's like some, you're not quite ready yet. And then maybe at the end, you're fumbling to end it. You can trim the beginning and the end using their trim feature. That is a no-brainer. But the tool that I love is their Smart Cut. And when you click on Smart Cut, it pulls up your timeline. And all of these, let me kind of zoom in. All of these red areas are areas where there are gaps. Now, this is a very long video. So there's probably going to be more gaps on this video than any other video. But you can adjust the silent or silence sensitivity by just moving this here. So the more sensitive it is, the more is being removed. So I could, tune this down really low. And then if I zoom back out, you'll see that it's less areas of red than it was before. So that, again, automatically gets rid of any dead silence. Typically in a live stream, I don't think you're going to have unusually lengthy periods of time of silence. So that's why I really wanted to minimize the silence as much as possible, because I know if there are moments of silence, it's like a blip. It's not going to be that long. And so I don't want to have, constant choppy editing as a result. So I'm going to actually, no, I want the end done. So when you're finished, all you have to do is hit done, and boom, you have all of those edits have already automatically been done to your video. The other thing that Kapwing does is that from within the same platform, you can immediately go to repurposing your project by creating social media posts like shorts for TikTok or what have you. So you can certainly use this platform in order to do that. But because we're just focusing on the editing, I don't want to sidetrack on that yet. But besides Kapwing, there are other platforms that are out there. If you don't want to really have to edit, there are platforms that are out there that will edit for you. Wisecut.video is one of them, and Gling.io Descript.io or AI is another one that will automatically do this for you. So you upload your video to the platform, you give it a little bit of information, and then it will just automatically do it for you, as opposed to you coming in and clicking and saying, I want to do a smart cut, and then having the ability to do the sensitivity. Descript is another one that will remove the silences and dead pauses and gaps that are in your video for you. So there are platforms and software that's really simple and easy for you to use that will make editing a stress-free experience. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you utilize those. Next and last is multi-purposing, or promoting your content beyond just, because we're doing these videos and they're typically going to go up on YouTube. And so therefore that is the platform that you want to use. However, if you want to then share that content off of YouTube, or even on YouTube, but as a short, or as TikTok, or you want to do it on LinkedIn and social media, or you want to send it to your email list, then you need to get clips of your video. And so Kapwing is definitely a tool that you can use to do that. And you just activate it here by opening up the Repurpose Studio, and then you can create your content. It's going to formulate here. I'm going to do that maybe later. But in the meantime, I'll come back to this because you can see how long that'll take. We'll be finished with this by the time that's finished. Another tool that I wanted to share and talk about is one that repurposes your content, but repurposes it in text format. And then I'll share another tool that repurposes, similar to Kapwing, in video format. So Cast Magic is a tool that I discovered at the end of last year. And the reason why I liked it was because it takes your recorded content. So in my instance, I do a lot of videos, and it can repurpose it as emails, as social media posts, as threads, as tweets, as literally whatever it is that you need. And the great thing about this, that's a little bit different than, say, a Jasper, a ChatGPT, or a Copilot, is that the content that it's going to create sounds more like you, because it's taking your words and creating content from your words. So here in this example is I put all of my live streams in here. This is last week's live stream. And so the first thing that it does is it takes your recording and it transcribes it. The next thing that it does is then it turns it into pre-selected different types of content. So I choose the different prompts that I want it to create for me. So in this example, it's going to spit out YouTube keywords, because I'm also putting this content, even though I'm going live on YouTube, there's no description that's on YouTube right now. There are no keywords that have been added to that description or that file yet. So I'm asking Cast Magic to create the keywords, to create the YouTube description based on the actual transcript of my video. So this isn't supposition. This isn't based on some prompt that had absolutely nothing to do with the actual content that I created. It also can do timestamps if you want it to do. If I wanted it to create threads for Instagram, I'm sort of still dabbling with that. It can give you that. If I needed some ideas for a new title, it could give me that. If I wanted to have conversation starters that I wanted to use, say, for example, in my Facebook group or in my community, I could get that as well. If I just needed to get a summary of what this video or live stream was about, it would produce that. If I wanted to get a social media post, it could get a pretty lengthy social media post. It can also give me 3 cold touch email sequences that relate to the topic and to that particular content. And then it can give me a new video alert email, which is what I will be sending out with this video later today. I had to think of what day today was. So every time I do a live stream, I'm going to send out the replay that same day. So I'm going live now from 1 to 2. And then later on this evening, I'm going to send an email to my email list with the replay link. And this is the email that I will be tweaking so that it can go along with that replay. If I want to ask questions of my audience, it can produce that. If I want to promote this replay or clips of it from the repurposed that I'm going to be doing, either on getting from Kapwing or from the next tool that I'm going to tell you about, I can use this post with those clips if I want it. And that's it. So it gives you all of the written content that you could potentially need. And if this isn't enough, you can always come under Magic Chat and you can create your own prompt on the fly as to what you want it to do for you. So the next tool is Opus Clip. So again, this is a pre-recorded video that not a pre-recorded, this is a previous live stream that I've already done. And so what I like about Opus Clip, and a lot of these visual repurposing tools are now doing this, is they're giving you a virality rate. So it's basically, what's the potential of this video going viral, or at least being popular with your ideal audience? And then they go a little bit further by grading the hook, flow, engagement, and trend. If you're talking about something that's trending, if it seems like it's an engaging content, if the flow of it is really good, and if it opens with a hook, then you are getting graded on that. And then I think this varies. Let me see how many. It's anywhere, it depends on the length of the video, but this was almost 20 clips. Now, the further down you get, you can see the lower the score is. So I don't even pay attention to those. I probably just look at the top 5 or 6. And even in some of those instances, like this one, I didn't care for. So I didn't look at that. So sometimes in a lot of my live streams, like I'm doing today, I'm sharing my screen. So sometimes when you are doing that, you're going to have a split screen. This instance, the clip that it took was me full camera. It was before I was splitting the screen. So this one works fine. So if you want, you can go in and you can edit. Let's say, for example, for whatever reason, it wasn't close up enough. You can always come in and tweak that if you want. You can change how soon it starts in terms of where you want the piece that it captured to start, or where you wanted it to end. You could extend it if you wanted it to go a little bit longer. You can select which words you wanted it to highlight. All of those things you can do here. The next thing that you can do is when you go on to design, you can choose, do I want it to be for TikTok? Do I want it to be for YouTube? Or perhaps maybe for Instagram or LinkedIn? Where exactly is this video going to appear? And then you can have your layout preference either auto, or you can choose, like if you want it to there's no need for it to be split because it's just me. But if I was interviewing someone, I could have it be split. Or if there was more than one person, then you could have it going up to 4. The other feature that this Opus Clip just introduced, so this is actually like perfect timing. I shouldn't say no, I take that back. Yeah, they did. It was in beta before, sorry, is B-roll. So you can now add in B-roll, and I did this ahead of time because it takes a minute, but you can generate B-roll. All you need to do is toggle it on, and then it's not going to let me do it here, but you can either add in your own stock images or footage, or you can have AI generate it for you. So in this example, I opted for AI to generate. So I'm going to come here and just do this. So that just allows your, even if it was a live stream, to be a little bit more engaging and interesting to watch by adding B-roll to it. And so you can do this. It automatically does it for you, but you can make edits and do changes and things of that nature. You can add in emojis if that's something that you want to do. And then obviously you can change the styling of the captions and whether or not you want it to take up 1 line or up to 3 lines of content. So if there were any changes that I needed, it would have asked me to save it. But I wanted to come to this one so that I can show you in this example, this is where I'm sharing my screen. So because of that, this is how it looks here. Now, if I look through the script and every area of the script was perfect, this is exactly what I wanted, I would then go to design. I would keep it as a portrait if that's how I wanted it to appear. And then I would select split, but then I would come here because I'm sharing my screen, and this is in beta currently. And you see that it now automatically is sharing my screen with having the screen on top and me on the bottom. So this is what I prefer. And then I would just go down and see, do I want to add stock footage in? No, I don't think I want to. Do I want to add emojis or things of that nature? So again, you can still go in here and make any additional changes creatively. If you wanted to change the highlighted text colors, you can change this to your brand colors if you want. And that would be able to be used. If you need to have your logo on the videos, you can add that in as well. Because I made a change, I'm going to have to come here and click on save and compile. It's then going to tell me it has about 3 minutes before that is available for me to be able to download. So that is it. All the 4 stages, from screenwriting, using the tools that either can help you write a script out full on word for word. And my recommendation on that is, if you're going to do that, make sure that the script sounds and reads the way that you naturally speak, not how someone would be reading your blog post, but how you naturally speak. So you can have them write a script, or you can do an outline. Always tweak anything that comes out of AI so that it can sound like you and it doesn't sound robotic. And then the second phase is actually recording your video. You can use a tool like BigView, or you can just simply use Zoom or Loom or any other way, or you can use your phone. Apps that are available on your phone, there's just way too many to mention there as well. And then when it comes to editing your video, you can either try to edit your video yourself using a tool like Kapwing, or if you want it to be done using AI, you can use tools like, there's Wisecut.video, there's Capsule, and there is Gling, and then there are some other ones that escape my mind at the moment. And then after the video is edited, you then need to repurpose your content. And if you've created or edited your video in Kapwing, you can use Kapwing. Let me see if it's back up yet. Nope, we're still 9 more minutes to go. But it's getting there. Okay, it's there. So you can then come in here and tweak and do what you need to do to edit your project. And then finally, you can repurpose using tools like, you can edit your tools, or your repurpose your content using text on a tool like Cast Magic, which I think is certainly a game changer for those of us who also then want to be able to create content that is from the content that we're speaking and sharing with our audience, and being able to create emails, or another thing I did not share with you with Cast Magic is you can take up to 5 of your recordings, which is something that I do. I take all of my weekly recordings of my live streams that I've done for the week, and I upload it into Cast Magic, or actually it's already in Cast Magic. So I just have Cast Magic grab them and create a blog post, a cohesive blog post on all of the recordings. Every month, my recordings are theme related, so they all blend into one another. So it's not that far-fetched or complicated in order for that to be done. But again, it allows me to create another piece of content that is going to be more in-depth than me just taking the transcriptions of my videos and using that as blog posts. Because believe it or not, that's what I used to do back in the day. I was just too lazy to come up with, or non-creative to come up with my own content. So that is it. If you have any questions at all, please reach out by commenting below, Or if you're seeing this on your email, just hit reply and I will get back to you. As always, I appreciate you for watching this video. It went probably way longer. Yes, it did. Than I really wanted it to do. I really try to get these done in about 25 to 30 minutes, and I'm at 45 right now. So, but thanks so much. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you being here, and I thank you. If there is content that you want to see me talk about, please let me know so that I can add that to my arsenal of content that I can come in and talk to you about every week here on my live stream. So ta-ta for now. Take care.